Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Amber. Today we are going to be doing a very debatable subject for a video. Let's talk about circumcision. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it something that you agree about? Is it something you don't agree about? Let's talk right now, guys. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that big thumbs up. Bye guys. Okay guys, so I know a lot of you are going to be feeling very strongly about how I personally feel about circumcision for my son and just for like males in general, and that is totally okay. This is my personal opinion. I'm not a doctor, but this is just what I have decided that I feel I believe in and what goes with my morals, and just it goes with my heart and what my heart says that I feel is the right thing to do. So before I had my son, I realized that I had never really taken a great deal of taking time to think about circumcision and what I feel is best for my son. And when I found out I was having a boy, like people that were close to me had asked me, you know, are you gonna be circumcising your baby? And I was just like, I don't know, like I really want to look into it and I want to think about what I should do. My mother told me that she like was pro circumcision and she felt like that it was a good thing to get boys circumcised, and she thought it was totally like normal and natural. And while I am not saying that it is like a horrific thing, like I feel like she's an awful person for deciding this, I am pro not circumcision, pro not cutting off the force. Okay, so just a fact for you guys, the Canadian Pediatric Society does not recommend routine circumcision for every newborn baby boy. It is not something that is a must before you leave the hospital. They do not make this a mandatory surgery. It is 100% the parent's decision. So I went onto this website, Caring for Kids, cps.ca, and I got some information off of there for you guys. So a pro of circumcision is that boys are less likely to develop penile cancer later in life, although penile cancer is likely in less than 1% of males. So it is a very, very, very rare cancer, but you are less likely to get it if you are circumcised. It also states on this website that you are less likely to get HIV and HPV infections, and less likely to get urinary tract infections during childhood. So when it comes to circumcision, there are usually 3 reasons why baby boys are circumcised. It's usually religious purposes, or it can be for social reasons. It also can be culturally the acceptable or non-acceptable thing to do, whether a boy gets circumcised or not. And when I say socially, I mean that fathers usually want their son to resemble them in the cosmetic way. So it really is something that is just like, oh well, I want my son to resemble me. I want them to see that we're like the same. And I just think that is like so crazy. Like I get it that, oh, like, you know, we're gonna wear matching shirts today, but I don't understand, like, how does that even make any sense? Like, okay, yeah, maybe your son will see you like undress and stuff like that, but is he really gonna be like, hey, yay, we have matching penises, I'm so happy about that? No, I don't think so. I think that that's not something that's gonna be running through his mind, and I think that there's just other things that you can focus on, and that women also don't have the same genitalia. Even though we all have the same body parts, we don't always all look the same. We all have different bodies, whether it's our hands, our faces. Yes, they're the same parts, but do they look the same? No. So do we have to focus on that, oh yes, my son looks just like me, if a man is circumcised and then they feel like it's not okay for their son to be circumcised, or they just decide that they don't want their son to be circumcised, should they be worried about the fact that they don't look the same? No, I personally don't think so. So what are some rare complications of circumcision? There can be too much bleeding, and it can lead into infection if the circumcision is done incorrectly, or if there are germs that do enter through the wound. There could also be the off chance that there is too much skin removed, which is really a problem because the skin will be pulled too tight and it will be super uncomfortable and irritated. That there's allergic reaction to the medicine given for the surgery. So even though circumcision hurts way more as an adult compared to as being a baby, Ben can always down the road decide that he wants to be circumcised, and even though it is a much more painful procedure and it is much more complicated in the fact that he's an adult, and it's going to be really painful, and it's going to make him have to be very careful with that region of his body, and there is legitimately no way possible for my son as an adult to want to sew his foreskin back onto his penis, and therefore if he doesn't like being circumcised, he will not be able to go back and reverse those decisions that I made for him while he was a baby, while he had no choice, while I had the full reins to decide what is good and what is not good for him. So circumcision is a very popular thing to do, a surgery after the baby boys are born in both Canada and the United States. But baby boys in Europe, Asia, and South America grow up without circumcision, and it is a perfectly normal practice for them not to be circumcised. It's only in Canada and the United States that it seems to be a very big thing for males to have done as babies. A lot of people say that being non-circumcised is a very dirty way to be. It's also a very likely that your son's penis will be like dirty and hard to clean, and it will be easy to get bacteria and, like it said, HIV or HPV. It can be easier to get those things, but I feel like if you teach your child properly how to have good hygiene, you show them properly how to clean their body, not just that one region but their whole body from top to bottom, and you teach your child about like the protection that you're supposed to be using when you are intimate, that these things are already prevented. And so these are things that you should be thinking about when you make the overall choice as to whether or not you should circumcise yourself. So I decided to look up female circumcision on Wikipedia, and UNICEF estimated that in 2016 200 million women have had the surgery of female circumcision, which involves some or all of the female genitalia removed. And so this is a practice that is considered obviously very normal for a lot of people, and for people in the United States and Canada, this is basically unheard of. People would probably think that this is just so cruel, and it is such a violent way to treat young girls. But these people that are part of this feel that it is a ritual in purity and being a woman, and it's all these lovely things. Whereas when we are in Canada and the United States, we tend to look at circumcision as just a normal way of being clean, a normal way of presenting ourselves, or I shouldn't say myself, but our sons and the males are in our lives. So it's something to think about when we think about our society and how we perceive things as a whole. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video. If you guys found it interesting and you have something to say about this, definitely leave me a comment down in the comments. And definitely hit that subscribe button, guys. Give me a big thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.